We got Andrew Rappleyea for you all today. If you guys would use the raise hand function, we can get 2 questions on Zoom. Go ahead, Tyler Donahue.
Thank you. Andrew, how you doing this morning?
How you doing, Tyler?
I'm doing well, thank you. Obviously, that was your most extensive action in a college game thus far. When you had a chance to come out of it, maybe check out the film, how would you kind of evaluate what you were able to accomplish and how you can build off it moving forward?
I felt I did pretty good. I felt I did my job. I think I did what I needed to do to help the team win, and I think that going forward, I can just, hopefully expect a bigger load, a bigger plate, and, just handle it the best I can.
Daniel Gowan.
Thanks for the time this morning, Andrew. When you look at Saturday and finally getting that experience after redshirting last year, what was that like for you to be part of the offense early, to be in that type of environment and really have that kind of extensive action?
It felt totally normal. I was long anticipated, exciting, a lot of mixed emotions for sure, but, it felt like another day at the office, day at practice. I'm just doing my thing.
Seth Engel.
When we talked to Ty Howell last week, he described the tight end room as kind of having players coach, some of the younger guys, Tyler Warren being one of them. What's it been like to learn from someone like that who's obviously played for, a few years now and seen a lot of action?
Tyler Warren's the best, man. He's never got anything bad to say. Great dude. Keeps his head down, does his thing. And for a guy who's in his 5th year, who could be saying a lot about his accomplishments, it's the last thing he's worried about. And being able to honestly play under him and play with him and learn from him in every aspect has been absolutely great. And then my first year here, kind of acclimating, taking tips and advice from him was big. And now it's kind of taking things from his technique and polishing it up in my game.
Joe Smeltzer.
Hey, Andrew, thanks for the time.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good. So you told us in February that you were confident, but also that you weren't nearly where you wanted to be. How would you say you're closer to where you want to be now compared to then?
I feel just with my confidence. The reps, a whole spring ball, and then I can't wait to develop faster than I almost expected to, in the sense of I feel like I made some of the biggest strides in the past 6 months, in the past 2 camps, you could say, that I've made in a long time. And I feel really good about my game right now and where I'm at.
Joel Haas.
Hey, Andrew, you've gotten to practice in Kotelnicki's scheme all offseason, but actually being in a game and all the kind of different things that your offense is able to do. What was that like to actually do that, against a real opponent in live action?
It's awesome, man. But Kotelnicki's play calling is beyond exciting. Just as a tight end, you get all the variety that we're being given. You're out in the pass game, deep routes, short routes. Predominantly for me this weekend, it was a big run game and getting my nose dirty in the trenches, focusing on that. But we're stretching the field now. We're getting out in space, doing all these different things that we haven't done, honestly, for myself ever. Really exciting.
Tyler Donahue.
Andrew, with Khalil sidelined for much of August, what were you able to gain from, I imagine, what was a bigger workload, maybe working with the primary offense more? How did you take advantage? I know that's the way football works. So how did you take advantage of your chances in August?
Just reps, man. With Dink, not being available for camp, it was allowed me a lot more reps and opportunities. I just took advantage of it. I didn't see it as anything other than just an opportunity presenting itself. And I feel like I handled it pretty well. I feel like I put things on tape I needed to put on tape.
Daniel Gowan.
Andrew, what did you make of Luke's collegiate debut on Saturday?
Yeah, he's going to be really good, man. For a kid who just last spring ball, I was like, man, he's going to have to really gain some weight and learn how to block. And now it's just like he learned how to do it all. honestly. He's gained 35 pounds, 30 pounds, whatever it is. And now before he was in there with the older guys. It was a little, it was awakening for him. You could see, and now he's handling his business really well. I think he's going to be really good.
Seth Angle.
Andrew, I wanted to follow on Tyler's question about Khalil. With him sidelined, we heard that he was still able to stick around a little bit and teach you a thing or two. As it relates to run blocking, we've seen you sometimes in his spot in the T formation. What has he taught you the most, whether he's on the field or not, specifically as it relates to run blocking?
You just do your job, man, and have no fear when it comes to blocking. I mean, kind of the basics. I would say Dink has helped me a lot, but I'd say it's nothing that I haven't heard from Tyler or Coach Hal.
Tyler Donahue.
We caught up with Bo on one of these calls yesterday, and he was talking about work within the offense from start to finish. And last year, coming in at the very end of some blowout wins. What does that do for you guys in terms of versatility and what a defense needs to plan for when Bo could pop up on the third play of the game? He could pop up on the second series. He could pop up on a 2-point conversion. What does it do for you guys moving ahead?
Well, yeah, the biggest thing with Cold Nicky is, his love for different personnel and being able to bring different guys in the game at all time and switch things up. I think the biggest thing is, being able to not just be able to lean on those 11 guys and having variety, having different packages, certain guys do things better than others, and that's the reality of football. Even the tight end room, doing things that are really good and things that are better than others, and this and that, and just having complementary football on one another makes it so much more stressful for the opponent. Because I remember the biggest thing, some statistic like Bo when he's in the game, it was 80% of the time he's running the football. That was before last week, and I'm sure that's something that's taken into consideration. And then you see him rip one up the seam for a touchdown, and just complimentary football. He's a great runner, but now it's opening up windows for him to throw the football a lot more. So,
all right, folks, we'll do 2 more questions. We'll go Daniel Gallen, then Frank Bodani. Go ahead, Daniel.
Andrew, you and Joey came in at the same time. Both of you have had kind of different physical journeys since you got here. In year 2, what have you seen from him in his development? And you talk about guys doing different things well in that tight end room. What does he bring that might be unique?
I think that Joey's starting to develop a sense of grittiness and kind of, want to put somebody in the ground, I guess you could say. I think that I've seen a lot more of him doing that this camp and then really in last spring ball. I think Joe kind of realized that, he's going to really have to start, physically becoming more of a presence in the run game if he wants to be where he wants to be. And I think that reality that he's taken in is definitely helping his game, because I can say confidently that he's probably had one of his better camps, or he's had one of his better camps that he's had since he's been here. So he's doing really good, and I think he's progressing well. So,
all right, last question, Frank Bodani.
Yeah, Andrew. As far as Penn State safeties, in particular Jalen Reed, from your perspective, how good are they, and what stands out about them? Especially like Jalen doesn't look like the biggest guy in the world, but it looked like he packs a punch too, right?
They're really freaking good, man. One thing I can confidently say that Tyler Warren told me going into the season real quick, he was saying rep, as they call him, when you get in, he says, be ready to go and just play fast, because when you get in there, you're going to be surprised as to how ready you really are. And that's one thing I noticed about this weekend. I'm going against Denai, I'm going against Abdul, going against Smith Vilbert. These guys are practicing. I'm going against one-on-one man coverage every day. Kevin Winston, Zakeem Wheatley, Jalen Reed, going against these guys. They truly are the best in the country. And I can say that with confidence. And I realize that now. I don't want to say that after a 1 game that we just had, but they're really good. And Jalen Reed specifically, just his confidence is off the charts. You have a kid who lines up and knows, I don't want to say not against me, but knows he's going to win the rep. He's excited for the rep, this and that. And he's got this killer confidence, and he's just a playmaker, man, and for a guy who, like you said, is smaller, that does not stop him in the run game. And especially in coverage too. He plays great hands, but safeties are great.
Cool. Thanks, Rat. Thanks, folks.
Thank you.